all my sweet moves, which I don't really have because I think I got it. I think I got it, but I don't think I got it.
I can't twerk if my life depended on it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm the greatest at it.
A little tuckered out from.
Definitely.
Are you
Definitely
plumb
better than
tuckered
twerking.
out?
We're twerking.
There we go. Okay. All right. Are we about ready to go?
We're
live?
ready. We're going.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. It's Sunday. It's 5 o'clock. We are live at 5, and I would like to thank Jesse Garland for not doing his live stream at 5 o'clock Mountain Time too. That way everybody has a chance to see both. So, anyway, with me as always, to my left, your right is Chris, and behind the camera is Mrs. Toast, and of course, my mustache. Who wants a mustache ride? Not you, Chris. Okay. So, what's going on, man?
Everything and nothing all at the same time.
No,
Your mustache looked really, really tight on Friday.
Last
I
night
didn't
too.
see you
You got a lot of
yesterday.
compliments on your.
Yeah.
One guy said I look like the Pringles guy, so I guess I went to
Oh,
the
totally.
party as the Pringles guy.
Okay.
You should have had just like those little bionicles, like.
You may not remember, but Matt Wheatley took a picture of me with a can of Pringles last night. So yeah.
I don't think I was there for that.
Oh, you were there.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
No, well that's so. Anyway, so yeah.
Is that code?
Yeah. I wonder if Devin Riddle still has his mustache, or if his wife made him shave.
I bet she put the kibosh on that.
I don't know what to do with it. Like I should probably just grow the rest of it out.
You have this one hair. Actually, you have several of them.
I'm sure I have a
that are
bunch.
just like.
This is the most groomed it gets, though.
It takes a lot to have a mustache. I did not know that. Yeah.
I think in a lot of ways, just clean shaving or not shaving at all is way easier than any kind of
creative
manicured,
shaving.
facial hair.
Yeah, but I call this the first responder or the Pringles guy, whatever. So hey everybody, I'm glad that you're with us. And how many people are watching, Mrs. Toast? A few. We got a few people are tuned in. Oh wow, that's awesome. Thanks for watching, you guys. We've got some cool stuff to talk about tonight, and we've got some beers to drink, and we've got
We got stories to tell.
we do have stories to
We
tell.
may even learn something.
I'm not
So
gonna learn
Doc
anything.
threw in $20 for your facial hair care fund.
Thank you, Doc. Do you think I should keep the mustache? Mrs. Toast is not gonna. She's not gonna play nice with the mustache for very much longer. Is that about accurate, Miss Thing? You're like,
If you ever want to have sex again,
I was going to say, is play nice code? And then she answered the question. No.
No, there's no code.
You should get some of those little scissors and spend inordinate amounts of time trimming it.
But then I'd have to be good at. Well,
no,
yeah.
you don't have to be good at it.
I think I'm just gonna let the rest of it grow in around the mustache. So, anyway, would that meet with your approval?
yeah, because when you shave it off, I'm always like, oh my god, your face looks so
Yeah,
short now.
Yeah. What are you doing with facial hair wise? Are you just going?
Just whatever.
Au natural.
I refuse to get a haircut until masks are no longer a thing.
Wow, dude, you might wait a long time
I
to not
know.
get a haircut.
The last pandemic lasted almost 2 years.
Well, okay.
And people were still pissed back then about wearing a fucking mask.
I'm willing to put in the time.
It's been a bummer, but you know what? I don't want to talk about mask stuff. I want to talk about fun dances and guitars.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you guys know who
Crazy cool.
Pedro de Pacas is?
No.
Is he related to Vito Lapata?
I don't know, but Tom L. wants him for president.
Okay.
I don't know who
That's
that
cool.
is. I
Vito
didn't know if that
Lapata
a
was the
joke.
drummer for Canned Heat, and that would be cool. So, is that
okay, I don't know. I just didn't.
maybe Tom will enlighten us as to who that is, and maybe he'll win on Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
From Cheech and Chong.
Oh, gotcha.
I knew I was missing something.
Do you know what Chong's character name was in those skits and on the records?
It wasn't Dave.
No, it was Pedro and Man. So
Like Chico and the Man?
yeah. I said, hey man. All right. So anyway, so Chris, you kind of spearheaded this thing. I don't have any idea what we're talking about tonight.
All right, it's Bankruptcy for Guitar Center.
Okay.
Matt's must-haves,
Matt's must-haves. That's right. Not Matt's mustache.
No.
and bands you've never heard of.
Okay, cool. Well, so what do you want to start with? You want to start with GC?
Well, we could talk about Guitar Center
All right.
a little bit.
I don't really have a dog in this hunt. Do you know much about?
I know very, very little. I know as much as it takes to Google Guitar Center bankruptcy.
Okay.
And find out. Apparently, they missed a $45 million payment to the company that bailed them out last time. And this isn't the first time this has happened since they went through all that stuff a year ago or 2 years ago. In April, they were on the edge of missing that same $45 million payment, and they somehow renegotiated with the company that runs them. So that's what I know about.
So it sounds to me as though you and I we don't have the cutting edge tech information as to what is going to happen. But let's put a spin on this.
Okay.
Do you want to see Guitar Center go away?
Ultimately, no.
That's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because I don't actually have any ill will towards Guitar Center, and when I used to shop at Guitar Center, they were always nice to me. In fact, I got some really good deals on some stuff at Guitar Center. My SVT came from Nashville.
Yeah.
And so I had it shipped to the Guitar Center here in Colorado where I was going. And I think I gave like $400 for an American-made all-tube SVT because in Nashville, nobody wants a 95-pound amp that doesn't have a bunch of speakers and stuff in it. You know what I mean? Just a head. That'd be a ridiculous thing to have in Nashville.
Haul around town in Nashville. Yeah.
So, but you could go on the website and you could search used gear in a bunch of different places. In fact, when I bought my SVT, there were two. And one was the clean one. It was like $400. And they had another one, or $500. And then one had like a few knobs were missing and had some goo on the, like tape residue on the faceplate. And it was $100.
Oh, when you said goo, I thought it was something
Yeah,
else.
it wasn't like that. But
which one did you buy?
I bought the clean one. Yeah, I didn't
go.
want a goo on my amp. But it's been a great amp, and I've had it for years. And I bought lots of stuff especially from the used section at Guitar Center.
I bought a fair amount of stuff.
Having said that, I really don't like how in Denver, you remember that there used to be lots and lots and lots of small independent guitar shops, not unlike Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Thank you to Ike and Dylan and Nico. Those guys over there are cool guys. If you are in the Denver area and you want to stop by Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, tell them the guys from Texas Toast sent you, and Ike will give you a kiss. If you're
And Ike or Doug Santiello said this is good for stores like Flipside.
That's absolutely, yeah.
It could be.
So hold on. So I went off into sponsor
Promotion
mode.
yeah.
But and so I was about to say that if you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you want to buy guitar stuff, you don't have to do it at Guitar Center online. You can do that at Flipside Music, and their online stores open 24/7. Anyway. But yeah, so Guitar Center kind of put a lot of those little stores out of business, I think.
Yeah. Well, and there was some other big, at least here in Denver, Mars Music. They had a couple stores, and was it Pro Sound?
They had a Pro Sound or two,
big stores here too.
They were big stores.
We were loaded up with really big.
But remember, there was
mass merchant.
There was like remember Bobby's Music on Broadway, and
there was Bobby's Music. There was Crescendo in Littleton near me.
There was Rarebird Guitars. There was First Base.
Yeah, there was Rob's. There was and there were.
What was that? National Speaker Sound had a lot of cool stuff.
Sound, yeah. There were several little used places that were kind of cool. But in a lot of ways, when I think back on a lot of those places, everybody there was kind of a snob. At least the ones that I went to. And
that's too bad.
And it was kind of like, I certainly wasn't cool enough to hang out at Crescendo
I would
Music.
like to disagree, Chris. I think you are absolutely cool.
I was not cool enough to hang out there.
Well, that's their loss.
And because they didn't have any money. But but it's Guitar Center and the like. I mean, now it's a Guitar Center, but there was a Musician's Friend store that went in Centennial, and man, I went to their grand opening and it seemed so cool. They had everything seemingly.
Well, that's
and that was something that none of the other places had. And just like any small business, it ends up getting end up getting filled up with stuff that the owner and the staff like.
Yeah.
And if you're not
exactly
into the same
just like
thing,
any bit,
then you're kind of out of luck.
Do you remember when Guitar Center was like this thing in LA that you heard about, but you had to be like Steve Stevens to go there, and they like had all this rad stuff, and then I don't know at what point it became like the Kmart of guitar stores.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think one thing that I think as you grow and expand a business like that, and you decide, okay, every one of our stores is going to be, I don't even know how big those places are. 15,000
They're like
square
Home
feet.
Depots.
They are, yeah.
You have to fill it with something, and you can't fill it with $10,000 Les Pauls.
Sure, yeah.
And so
have
you end up
zillions
having
of
to have.
dollars.
So they have like Kiss puzzles for $49.99.
They have stuff like that now.
Yeah. The one that I like, and I've only been to one of them, was Sam Ash.
Okay.
And that was in Las Vegas.
I
And that was
picture.
a completely different experience than going into Guitar
Did you ever
Center.
go to Ed Roman's either of his locations? There was
I've been to
one that was
both.
like it was like going backstage. Remember, like you walk in and there was like all that stuff, and like there was this like long hallway that you go down, and there'd be like glass things, and it was rad guitars everywhere, and
I went into the one that was like
it looked
just
like Guitar
huge.
Center.
Yeah.
Just a great big building. Yeah.
and it had different brands, and they had all their own little pockets, and
Yeah, that was okay, but the one that was before that, or the one before that even, was like it was like you were at a bar on the Sunset Strip kind of. That was the whole flavor of it. And you know what? It might not even been Ed Roman, because it was like 89 or 90 I went there.
Yeah.
But it was some like big huge guitar store in Vegas, and it was. But I have every reason to believe it was Ed Roman. Maybe you guys can tell me if you were ever at that same store in Vegas in 89, 90. You'd walk in and there was this long black hallway with like lots of like window boxes of like, like Hard Rock Cafe kind of stuff inside them. Yeah. So yeah, I imagine that Guitar Center back when it was in LA and it was just that neat, cool thing. That whole store was like that one little room at Guitar Center is now, where they have all the cool stuff, the really expensive stuff. I don't know though.
There's been I'm going to condense down and paraphrase several comments on the same line of thinking.
Okay.
That, it's really good play. It's kind of like training wheels for newbies.
Okay.
Because you're not going to go into a boutique store and like want to try out a guitar and
well, sure,
you
they
know what
won't
I mean?
let you.
You know what? And save a bunch of money. That's like, that's my paraphrase.
Okay.
It's like training wheels for guitarists.
All right. Yeah. If anyone, if Miss Thing, if you see anyone that says, "Hey, that was Ed Roman," or "Hey, that was something else," let me know. So I'm sorry, Chris.
That's okay. The whole huge store that has nearly everything, that seems to be dying off. There's dozens of huge stores that has all the clothing you'll ever need. That aren't there anymore, and
in many ways, I'm glad to see that stuff go. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, in a lot of ways, just the whole online thing is so much easier.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And even people, well, I don't buy without trying. Well, you can send it back for free if you hate it. So
okay,
all right.
I still like to go to a store
it's still more fun,
and like look at the thing that I want.
Yeah.
And
a lot of guitar companies like Fender, I know, has way too many guitars for one store to have even one of everything.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
So and then it's like, well, I really want this one, but I heard they make it in Daphne Blue with a maple neck. Can I get that? Will you bring one of those in for me? Well, no. Not if you're gonna not buy it.
Well, that's the problem, is that a lot of people go to the store and then buy it online. So.
Yeah. So
did you have what's up, man?
Oh well, Rick DiNatale said.
Hi, Rick.
We have a Sam Ash here right across from Guitar Center. I used to go to Sam Ash and Manny's on 48th Street in New York City.
Yeah. I remember
I've heard about
Manny's. That name is that's
yeah.
synonymous with cool.
Mm-hmm. And I think the original Sam Ash was that store, and it was just one store, and it was probably really well run. You don't create that without having a really cool store.
How about but there are some places that like will always be cool and never be a chain, probably, like that Norm's Rare Guitars or that place. Is that the place in Nashville that's right on the corner there, Broadway? And that's not Norm's, is it? That's if Brian Nutter's watching, he'll just tell me.
Gruns.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and they have like that's like that little room at Guitar Center. Only it's the whole store, and that store's got to be insured for like $1 bazillion, I think.
Yeah. And I don't know what the deal is with Norm because he ends up with a lot of guitars and doesn't seem to be in a hurry to sell much of anything.
Oh well, he doesn't want to let it go for the for the right
yeah,
price,
whatever.
right?
But
Yeah.
you know, I see those videos. Norm just bought 100 new guitars.
Yeah.
100 new vintage guitars.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man.
New vintage guitar.
New vintage.
New to him,
Yeah.
vintage guitars. Stuff his store didn't previously own.
So yeah, I would say that for me, I don't really care if there is or isn't a Guitar Center. Part of me will be sad to see them go if they go, and part of me will be like,
Then you can't
that's
say
kind of a
anymore.
bummer.
Guitar Center's right up the road.
That's right. That's one of the things I used to love to say when people were like, "Hey, can you make me something that's exactly like somebody else makes?" I'm like, "No, but Guitar Center's opened at 10. They'll be happy to take
And they're
you."
right up the street.
Right up the street.
Yeah.
So do you think Guitar Center will go away, or
I
do you?
don't. No.
Okay.
I think Guitar Center is one of those things that will continue to figure out a way to get bailed out of this predicament. Now, I know that's not going to always be true.
Yeah,
At some
eventually.
point,
Yeah, if
it
they
will
keep-
probably, but they seem to be really, really good at finding somebody that believes in that.
There are a lot of not very guitar related things at Guitar Center, so and it's kind of like if you going to Guitar Center is kind of lame now. It's not as cool as it maybe once was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't like the places where the best stuff is all the way at the top of the wall and you can barely see it, let alone
Yeah.
touch it.
Yeah, because they don't want your cooties on it.
Well, no, you're right. They don't want my cooties on it, but it's it makes it really, really difficult to
When you
shop for a guitar.
when
like
you
that.
go to Guitar Center, what's the first thing you do? It's the same thing as I do.
Oh, I go to the used section.
I make a beeline for the back to see if they have
See
anything,
if they have anything
cool in the used
cool
section.
and underpriced.
Yeah.
That I can
yeah.
either flip or keep for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But other
and
than that, yeah,
rarely
Guitar
do
Center
they.
for me,
At least
for new
here.
stuff, doesn't hold any allure at all.
No. Well, and the funny thing is, and you touched on it with your Ampeg in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny what plays in certain towns and what doesn't. And there's certain guitars that just don't go down here. People don't want them.
Sure.
Did you try to give him $5?
Kind of the stuff that I want. So
That's where you live.
There's none of them around.
Yeah.
But
So we don't really know much about the Guitar Center, but we kind of hope they stay, and we kind of don't
Just-
give a crap if
Just
they don't.
starting rumors, I guess.
well,
It's a rumor we don't
yeah.
mind spreading.
I can't imagine that they'll be able to sustain all the stores they have, and certainly at these times, these troubled times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because there's 3 in Denver, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And there's one in Colorado Springs. And
There's one in Fort Collins.
Fort Collins.
Is there one in
and,
Pueblo?
No.
Okay.
No. But that's a lot. And really, they could probably condense to one here. None of them are close to me. So
That one by the mall way down south, is that?
that's not really close.
It's
to
not?
me.
Okay,
No.
yeah.
It's almost the same distance as the one near you.
Wow. Yeah,
To
so
me.
you're right.
And then
That's-
the one on Colorado
That's 1, 2,
is-
3, 4, 5 Guitar Centers
Yeah.
within 100 miles,
Yeah.
and they could probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But then after that, you got to go 500 miles to get to a Guitar Center.
Yeah, I
so
think so.
really, why do they need?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electric Sex Machine is here.
Hey, Scott's
Hey,
here.
all
Right on.
right.
I just think that's cool because he bought the guitar.
Yeah. We would never be able to sell that at Guitar Center.
Nope, not with that name.
Well, it's not the name. That's what he calls it.
That's just
It's his nickname. It's his pet
the
name.
nickname
Yeah.
that guitar got.
How did the what I've been calling the hater maker?
Uh-huh.
How did our triple neck guitar for the GGBO get the name Electric Sex
I
Machine?
So-
think you said it in a video.
But I want to know again because it's a
Oh.
funny story.
So I'm sitting there making the eBay listing, and I like to fill up the listing with words. So I try and describe it a little bit, and then I try and think of words that people are going to, because I can't imagine using the word electric guitar in a search, but I still think people do that.
Okay.
So I had Texas Toast guitar, custom triple neck, great guitar build off, and I wanted to use the word electric guitar, but I already had guitar, so I typed in electric, and sex machine just sort of rolled
It
out.
auto-populated?
No,
Oh.
I typed it in, but I typed it in, and I looked at it, and it all fit, and I went, yeah, that's cool, and I saved it, and that was that.
I have a funny story about the electric sex machine.
Okay.
So Scott has been teasing and taunting everyone on Instagram with how there's going to be an electric sex machine YouTube thing and this, that, and the other. And I noticed the other day that someone had subscribed. And I thought, well, I should go to YouTube and subscribe to Scott's page too.
Uh-huh.
So, being the smart guy that I am, I go to YouTube and I type in
Electric sex machine.
electric sex machine. Enter nothing about triple neck guitars.
Really? What was it?
Well, there was a lot of AccuJacks and stuff like that mounted to a sawzall and
Some sort of
dildos on
Yeah.
a sawzall, and there was some really
Girls with feather dusters.
really fancy chairs that did stuff, and no triple neck
This is
guitars.
on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Now I don't know like how much they show on YouTube. But
Yeah, I don't
you know
know
how
what
you can see the
rules are
little
there.
thumbnail
Right,
of what. Yeah.
Well, I think you
Yeah.
could probably show it and you could probably talk about it. You just can't, show it in action. I don't know.
I don't know the answer.
You would think that the rules for electric sex machines would be a lot less than the rules for guns, but we're probably wrong.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, I
to
don't
that.
know the
I
answer.
know
either.
a little bit
not,
of the answer.
Not
but
having
I don't
ever
know the
looked
whole
for electric sex machines or
Yeah, you don't want to
anything like
Google
that on-
electric
well,
sex
certainly
machine.
not Google
No,
it.
no.
But although that would be really fun. but on YouTube, yeah, because YouTube is what, the second biggest
Yeah.
search engine
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
So Scott, if you have an actual link to your electric sex machine stuff, maybe
put the word
let me
guitar
know,
in
and
there,
then I don't have to
maybe,
search. I don't have to
know.
sift through a bunch of
So people are coming back
Christy
going, "Wow, I
Canyon
just
videos.
YouTubed it."
That's
yeah.
great.
You're not in the right mind frame if you're coming from here.
No,
like,
no.
Searching an electric sex machine.
No. There's no Lisa DeLue or Gloria Leonard's either.
The sex machine.
So anyway, let's talk. Are we done with Guitar
Sure,
Center?
we can
Let's
be done
shift
with
gears.
Guitar
So what's
Center.
the next thing, Miss Lee?
Matt's must-haves.
Matt's must-haves, not to be confused with Matt's mustache. So I have been starting a new thing. On Thursdays we do that live chat where we do question and answer. We take your questions and we answer them to the best of our abilities, and that's been really fun.
It has been fun.
So
I feel like sometimes like people are out to stump us.
yeah, there's a lot of gotcha. That's actually
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
but yeah.
But
Like
that's
stump the
also
lousy
fun.
guitar player.
Stump the stupid guitar tag.
Stump the guys that think they know something.
Yeah. But for the most part, we don't get stumped very often.
No, we don't. And I'm not too proud to go, I really don't know.
But we can usually pontificate
But
on
yeah, we can.
something.
Yeah,
and
yeah. But if I did know something,
We would
this
twist.
is what I might know.
It's something that I do. I like to twist it around to be like, well, I don't really know about that, but you know what I do know is
About electric sex machines.
Yeah.
And you
Let me
pulled
tell
out
you.
pontificating on that one. It's pretty impressive.
even a dumb guy like me every so often. So Tom or Doc or Mike or one of you guys or Ken maybe asked, when am I going to finish my 50 must-have tools video that I did? This was been years ago.
A couple
now.
years ago, at least.
And I think so. That's dead. My Matt's 50 tools thing is dead. I'm never gonna do it. I'm never gonna make those other 4 videos that all have 10 tools in them, and I think you ought to have them. I think what I want to do is we did a lot of videos where we did like tool videos where we talked about like router bits or tape or whatever it was. Remember I can't remember.
Yeah.
We didn't do tape.
No, we didn't do tape, but we did specific tools.
Yeah, we
And-
did the old
and
man
our
machine
tools
and
and- yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
bandsaw. So one of the things that I want to do though is like some of this stuff is, well, that's all fine and good, but where do I get all this stuff? And I don't want to go through, I hear this a lot. I don't have Stu Mac won't ship to me because I live in some place where Stu Mac won't ship to. So what I'm doing is I'm compiling a list, and this is going to be a blog at the very least, and I want to know from you guys if you think you would like to see this in video form too. I want to do a blog of tools that I think you ought to have, and there might be 50, there might be 51. There might be 151. And I want to have links to all the tools so you can buy them new. Now, my beloved pin router is not going to be in there because I'm going to encourage you guys to, when it comes to industrial machines like that, is to, one, not buy them from Amazon, but more to the point, source those on the used market, especially something like a pin router. Do you remember my beloved pin router, which is really is no longer my beloved pin router. Now it's just the beloved pin router.
Yeah.
That was covered up with 20 years of dust and old banjo parts when we went to get it. Remember that?
Yes,
you were
did.
there.
You
Yeah.
had to like excavate it like you're like
We
Josh
did.
Gates or something.
Totally
We
did.
Yeah. We had to move tables and benches, and we put a guy out of work for an hour.
They packed it in there,
Yeah,
and that was at OHM Banjos.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out.
OHM.
I want to say
OMH.
OMG, and that's not right.
No,
it's
it's
OGM.
OHM Banjos in
OHM.
Boulder, Colorado had that machine.
Yeah, and it was sitting there, and it
And
had
they never
stuff
used
stacked
it.
on it.
No.
I couldn't figure out what they were gonna use it for, or what they thought they were.
Well,
even gonna
remember
use
there
it
was a
for.
guy who bought that had long since
Yeah,
left the company, and he wanted to buy it, and that was in the 80s. And
Yeah.
that lady who was like, her dad runs, she's like, I've never seen this machine run, and I've been here since day one.
Yeah, and they wanted it for something, and they figured out it wasn't going to work for that, or that their old process was just as good.
And then they outsourced everything to somewhere offshore, and dare I say, CNC.
I think that's what it was, and it was some sort of ring, I think.
Yeah, it was the whatever the banjo ring deal is. Actually, I can't imagine the pin router would be ideal for that.
No, probably not. But anyway,
Yes, ma'am.
You have two pin routers?
I do have two pin
What?
routers.
But there's only one beloved.
That's right. That's right.
well, on the other one,
The other one's a side chick.
well, it just sort of happened. It's not like you were,
No.
actively looking for it, but
However, do you remember?
the idea came up.
Remember
Well, yeah,
we talked about
it.
because what's his name had one.
We did talk about that. Yeah. But this just worked out perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this, and I was wondering if you want to trade for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that guy Matt called me, and I have never gotten back to him. I need to get back to him. And I should if I was a good
It's
person.
really
I
nice
would.
of you. Yeah.
I am sorry. So
He's inundated all day.
I know.
I am busy.
On every
Still
kind of
doesn't mean I'm not gonna give him a
communication.
hard time about it.
Well, so back to Matt's must-haves. So I'm going to start a blog that's my must-haves, and I actually started on it yesterday.
Okay,
What
good.
was is it too dumb?
No, it's because every time you say Matt's must, I'm thinking he's going to
Oh.
say Matt's
Mustache.
mustaches.
No.
Matt's mustache.
No, it's Matt's. Well, maybe I should come up with a new name that's not
No.
Matt's must-haves.
No, you'll only have the mustache for a little bit longer.
Thank
but you'll
you.
have the
Will I?
You'll
God,
have
I
the
hope so.
mustaches for a long time.
So I started Matt's must-have list yesterday before the Halloween stuff started, and it was stuff to measure stuff with, stuff to write stuff down with on, and stuff. It's stuff to do something else. So there's like 6 or 7 things. And it's my tools that I think you guys ought to have if you want to build guitars. If you guys want to see a video on this, I'd be happy to do it. But if you are happy with just a blog of that, then I'd be happy to do that too. There are some really good things. There was 6 or 7 things that I came up with last night. And there's links to where you can just get them, and you can get them fast. And I want these to be not like stuff that's going to break the bank. You know what I mean? But you got to have them. And measuring tools, that's one of those things that you're like, I know it sounds nerdy to constantly measure stuff, but guys, if you don't have a decent set of calipers, if you don't have some kind of protractor, if you don't have a contour gauge, then all the pin routers in the world are not going to help you.
And know
make
how to
guitars.
use all those
Yeah.
things and read them.
Yeah, a decent straight edge.
And you thought geometry class would never be useful again.
I did think that. Yeah.
That's the one class that I did pretty well in math, in the mathal arts. But
The
I did-
Mathel arts?
Yeah, the rest of it, I am dumb as a stick.
Well, fortunately
But
for us,
Geometry, I'm
yeah.
okay, and measuring, I'm good at.
so I
And
want to
can
hear
figure
from
out
I
how
want to hear from
how
you
to
guys how
measure.
you want the Matt's must-haves to come at you. Yes, ma'am.
Well, here's a question that I think is for the group and not necessarily you.
Okay.
From Dave, I'm sorry, Weiss or Weiss?
Okay.
I want to say Weiss.
Okay.
Anyone else
Hi,
having
Dave.
trouble getting templates from guitar building templates? Been waiting a month for mine.
It takes a little while.
Yes, Ron is very busy. I talked with Ron the other day. I just got mine Friday that I ordered the day that Ron gave out the code. So
we don't know why it takes as long. We have ideas.
Yeah.
We can pontificate about why it takes so long.
Big words are sexy, you guys.
Yes,
Well,
they
you already
are.
used it. I
Yeah,
don't even know
know.
what it means.
It's still,
But
So,
yeah,
let
it
me-
takes a little while, but everybody always gets them.
let me back up. Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry.
if you guys are just joining us, we have these things that we do the first Thursday of every month, and they are the online classes where you can watch live, and we have like a 2-hour segment where we do guitar stuff live. And now there's a paywall for this, but it's not bad. And in the case of the template one, Ron at guitarbuildingtemplates.com gave us a 20% off code, which, by the way, is still good. It's good through the end of the year. And so I was talking to Ron in email. I've never met Ron. I don't know Ron from Adam. And he was like, I said, hey, man, we're doing this template class. Would you like to sponsor the class and kind of help us out with that? He's like, yeah, that sounds cool. I can give you guys and all the people who join the class 20% off their guitar building templates. Sweet. So he gave me the code and I used it that day. So if you guys if you've ordered templates from Ron and haven't gotten them yet, I know it's a bummer. It takes a long time. That was the 1 month ago. When was the template class? Last October?
Mm-hmm.
No, not last October, but was it in October?
No,
September.
no, it was October 1st.
October 1.
Yeah, so it's
I-
been a month.
So I probably ordered those templates like 6 weeks or 2 months ago.
No, October.
No, but I was talking to Ron before the thing.
Before
so,
the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because
So, like,
we
say-
got that set up 3 weeks before.
Yeah, so say for the sake of conversation that Ron set us up with that September 1st,
yeah.
and then I ordered those templates that day.
Yeah.
It took 2 months to get. I know it's a bummer, but actually I have some cool stuff to show you guys. Here's one of the things that I made.
and you will get them, and they're very nice templates. And
Here's
they're
one of the things I made with the
worth the
templates
wait.
that I got from Ron.
Uh-huh.
This is a 336. If you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll know that this is hollow. And yeah, so we just put a maple top on this today, and I think it's pretty neat. This is just like a
This is a proof of concept.
proof of yes, yeah, because it's flat. It's
Proof
not
of
arched.
cool. We know it's a concept.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be neat. So this is actually black leery on the back, or poplar if you're so inclined, with a maple top, and it's just flat. We haven't done any arch yet, so we just kind of want to monkey around with it. But I got the templates for these. It just came on Friday, so you'll get them. I'm sorry that it's taken so long, but Ron is a stand-up guy, and you'll get them. So okay. But anyway, remember how I said that those templates, or I'm sorry, the code is good through the end of the year? Well, that you can still sign up for that class. You can go to the archive section of our online store, the class thing, and you can buy that class and you can still watch the video and you still get the code for the templates, which is good through December 31st. And so if you guys want to do that, that's a cool way to save a little bit of money. I wanted to see how much it would take to basically pay for the class. And so the online class is $19.99. And the templates, if you buy 2 sets of templates, you save more than $19.99. So you kind of get the online class free, kind of, if you buy a couple of sets of templates.
Yep.
And he's got lots and lots and lots of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you can still buy that, and you can still I'll still give you the code if you get the online class.
Yeah, and the next one is
Thursday.
frets and everything you wanted to know.
Everything
about
you want.
frets.
What are you gonna do for that, Chris?
Well, we're gonna do everything you ever wanted to know about.
So like
frets.
if you so it's this Thursday.
Uh-huh.
You can still sign up.
Yeah.
It's online and you
Yeah.
can tune in. It's Chris will be you're gonna do most of this.
I'm going to
one,
do
aren't
most
you?
of this
okay.
one. Yeah, yeah. And we're going to touch on fret installation.
Okay.
Fret removal, fret installation, fret dressing, fret crowning.
How about fret
What to
tools
look for?
to use
Yeah,
to press? Okay.
yeah, tools,
Nipping,
nipping,
chopping.
We're gonna do a little bit on fret measuring.
Oh yeah.
You know, buying like if you buy a used guitar, what to look for.
Okay.
In the frets, what to know you can fix versus
Cool.
what you can't fix. Yeah, just
Okay.
everything. And I think so. It's another $20 class.
Yeah.
I think just a little bit of the knowledge will earn you back your $20 pretty fast. If you have any inclination of
Yeah.
doing fretwork, which isn't really all that tricky, it's not that hard. With a few simple tools, you'll be able to fix and address all of the issues you've ever had with frets.
That was one of the reasons too that I started Matt's must-have tool list was because people were like, "Hey, what tools do I need to have for some of these things?" And I'm like, I should just make this a list that I can just send out, to everybody who asks. And then I thought, well, maybe I should just make it a blog because there's having a handful of little tools that make life easier. It's gonna make life easier.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know what a good fret dressing costs anymore.
I don't need.
But I know it's more than $20.
Yeah.
And with a couple of tools and the class.
Are
you'll
you
be
gonna
able to
do that
it
whole thing?
yourself.
Like you're gonna press frets in and then level and dress them?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Okay.
We'll do all sorts of stuff.
All right.
I got a used neck.
So you're not just gonna you're not gonna
bring
start
in
with a
No, I'll start with a new board, but we'll remove frets
Oh, wow.
out of an old neck, and then we'll press frets into a new neck or
Okay.
something like that.
That's
But
pretty cool.
It'll be neat. Yeah.
that's way more than I thought you were gonna do. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
cool. Yes, ma'am.
BM Blue says that
Hey,
double
but-
cut you just showed is awesome! Exclamation point.
It's gonna be cool.
That one gets my blues a going.
Oh,
can't wait to
you'll
see it
be
finished.
bluesified. But yeah, I'm like I say, this is just sort of we're just trying it out and we'll see what we come up with. But so guys, if you're having I can't wait to get the template sets. They're coming. They're coming.
Yeah.
I just
And-
talked with Ron. He told me that he's wildly happy with the success that he's had with you guys buying templates from him, and I want to start doing this more with the online classes. Is having some stuff, you know. So
we think our hypothesis on why it takes him as long as it does is because it's a part-time thing for him.
Could
he
be.
only does it a couple days a month
could
or
be
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So.
Question about the class.
Yes.
If you buy it, can you go back and rewatch it?
You can watch it 100 times. You can watch it 1,000 times, as many times as you want. Same price. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fun part is joining in live and asking questions and hopefully getting answers.
Yeah, I would advise that you just watch the first one, and then the first time you watch, just don't grab a bunch of tools and frets and stuff and try to do
just
it.
watch, but ask questions if you need to ask questions.
And it can be something simple like, hey, what's the name of that thing, or can you move the camera so I can see,
or re-explain that because you're not very good at explaining things, Chris.
which won't happen
That won't
because Chris
happen.
is a
I'm not
master
that bad.
wordsmith.
I am a wordsmith.
I know. You
Not
don't
so
have to
much
tell
of a
me.
tunesmith.
You don't have to tell
a
me.
Wordsmith.
So somebody asked me that. They're like, well, are they downloadable? I'm like, well, not really, but they're always available. You can,
Yeah. They're private videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So as long as YouTube's there, they'll be
I
there.
don't see YouTube going. So for example, we've got a class in December that's in the weeds with necks, where we start with a neck that's like this, and we press frets into it, and then we shape the neck. So that's going to be a really cool class. It actually comes with something like this. Now it's a little more expensive because it comes with something like this. But so if you sign up for that class, I have a tool list that I think you're going to need all this stuff.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy it, you can. If you want to wait for a little while and buy it later, you can. But I don't advise you to get your thing out, get your neck blank, and go to carving on it during the video.
No.
Because just watch it and
Yeah.
then go back and watch it again.
Plus, Matt and I are incredibly fast at doing it.
We've done it one time before.
Ooh, which part?
Carving necks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, get it done a little faster than you will get it done on your first one.
If this is your first
don't
neck,
worry.
be prepared to spend more than 2 hours doing it to get it.
Especially
exactly right.
especially with a 2-hour deadline, we're really going to be
Yeah.
hustling. So.
Yeah. So like if any of you guys have come to our week-long guitar building class, you know that Wednesday is nothing but taking this and making it look like this. So,
And-
yes, ma'am.
Well, speaking of a week-long guitar
Uh-huh.
class, we're finally going to get to meet Andy the Saint.
Yes, we are.
He says Texas Toast Live classes is the best money you will ever spend to learn the stuff you need to know with all the laughs and none of the voodoo.
Ooh, I
None
like
of the
that.
Voodoo. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
speaking of voodoo, we actually bought some Honduran mahogany for Andy the Saint's guitar project.
Yep.
And I say voodoo, there's a little bit of voodoo with that. Because, you know, Honduran
Voodoo's
mahogany.
not a
is-
bad thing. It's been vilified by zombie movies. And that
Honduran mahogany or
powder of
voodoo?
a root that they give people
yeah,
to
yeah,
make
yeah,
them
yeah.
zombies. But that's, you know,
So
every
Andrew
religion
St.
has
Pierre will be
the
joining us
apples.
for a week in December. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, that is going to be fun.
And
yeah.
you and he and I are going to make all kinds of stuff. And he was like, you know, so we're doing that we're starting with the Rick Turner Model 1 as an inspiration. And we got a bunch of lumber that we sourced wood for him to do that. And he's like, hey, why don't we make one out of poplar too, just to like. And so he's gonna make one. Yeah. So he's gonna make two because what do I always do?
Well,
Chris?
yeah, if you're going to make one,
If
you
you're gonna
might as
make
well
one,
two.
you're already jigged up to do it. Yeah. Makes
Well,
perfect sense.
And making one out of poplar.
Do all the mistakes on the
running,
poplar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's not going to be any mistakes, but yeah.
Any of
Making
those-
sure
Any of those questions.
proof of concept.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of steps in this one that
So
we
like
don't
that's
normally.
that's why we
do.
use poplar for this one because
Yeah.
this is all the way hollowed out, which is really cool. This is gonna have an F hole. Do you think it should have two F holes or just the one F hole?
I think just one.
I think just one, too.
Okay.
I like things that are a little wabi-sabi.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. All right, cool. Because there's gonna be controls and shit down here. There's gonna be the F hole. I'd like to know what you guys.
So Battle Axe Guitars says
Hey!
like the best rock bar in Belfast is called Voodoo.
Ooh.
So when we go to Ireland, we're going to stay with him. We're going to party like rock stars.
Oh, okay. Can
I
we
just
party
said
like
it.
a rock star till like 7 or 8 o'clock?
So party kind of almost every day.
Yeah, most
You
most
know,
of.
and
Some
until
part
at
of
least gets
every
dark
day.
at night.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm born to raise hell till like 8:30 or 9. Yeah. So,
As long as hell gets going early.
yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody did somebody ask about a week-long guitar class? We do have the Build a Classic Strat in November. There's one spot left. If you guys want to come out to Colorado and build a classic Strat with us, there is one position left. You can buy space in the class and spend a week with us. And
That's going to be a fun class.
We've never done
It's
Build
the
a
first-
Classic
it's
Strat.
the first
Yeah.
Strat class
Yeah.
we've done.
Yeah.
And there's just enough extra stuff. We're pretty good at the tele class
Yep.
now. I'd say really good at the tele class. But there's just a couple more things on the Strat where we're like, ugh.
And I'm really happy with the components that we got for it.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be like, ooh, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll be a really fun class.
Like we
because
got
the
really
classes are
good
always
trims.
fun.
They have like great big
Yeah.
trem blocks,
Trem
and they have
blocks
bent
and-
steel
yeah.
saddles,
Uh-huh.
but they do have press in arm. Yeah, there's it's good stuff, and of course hip shot tuners and yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a fun class.
It's gonna be a good time.
And it'll be on one of the days will be your birthday.
That's right.
So
One of the days will be my birthday.
Spanking machine at Texas Toast.
Electric spanking
That's the
machine
creepiest
is
thing
not
I've
something
ever
you
said.
should look up on YouTube. So, Chris, yesterday I kind of got in the weeds
Yeah.
with some YouTube videos, and
You got into the weeds,
You know
not
how you-
into weed.
you know, no, not into
Okay.
weed. You know how you can kind of fall down the rabbit hole of YouTube videos?
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk today about my favorite bands and your favorite bands
Yeah.
that you or me
Yeah.
have never heard of before.
Okay.
And so that's the last thing that we have. Is there anything else that we need to cover before Guitar Center, Matt's must-haves?
I got my own thing going on right now.
You got your own thing, okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone say anything about they want Matt's must-haves to be in a video or blog, or they don't give a crap?
There's been, talk about things, but you need to do this or you need to do that,
Okay. All right. I get it, because like, some people are like, I don't give a toss how you do it, just as long as you do it. Yeah, please. So let's
Yeah,
spend
Doc says video. Yeah.
video. Okay. Well, we can
Did you do this video before?
You remember I said that we started
Top
to do
10
that video,
tools or
and then we kind of that video from several years ago, that's dead. We're not going to finish those. We're moving on. Continue. So anyhow, but let's talk about, you got some bands that like people might not
you
know
need
about?
to start.
Okay. So let me tell you about some of my, I'm even going to go, I'm going to pigeonhole mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think I'm not going to pitch?
No, I know you're gonna.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you guys about some of the greatest garage bands you have never heard of. Do you know a lot about the garage?
I know
kind of scene?
a little bit. I know more about some of the stuff that happened before that.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
So, the garage music is one of those things. And guys, I want to hear all of your stuff about bands that you think are awesome that I might not know about. So I want to talk about 3 bands in particular that you might have never heard of.
Okay.
Or that you might have heard of, but you don't necessarily know about.
Okay.
Or you don't know, like, not familiar with the music. So,
Okay.
So what's the deal with the garage sound? There's lots of fuzz. So you know me, it's right up my alley.
Yeah.
So Doc was like, "Oh, Fu Manchu, thanks for the turn on." Yeah.
Oh, totally cool. But I'm gonna
That's
go
total fuzz.
I'm gonna go in a slightly different direction, but same amount of fuzz. So, we all know that ZZ Top is probably one of the. Something's happening.
I didn't do it.
Oh shit, something's going on.
I
here.
have my thing that I want to put in.
something
for the bands.
totally got
Bands
dicked
you
up.
never heard
You know,
of.
it's because
Are we back?
it's because I always forget. This is the only time that I plug the phone
Oh,
into
okay.
power that it doesn't automatically turn on, and
All
I
right.
always forget to do that.
So guys, I don't know where we stopped, but
It's
let me.
okay. It's fine.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let me start over.
It's okay.
5 seconds.
Ran
So-
out of juice.
We all know that ZZ Top is one of the greatest bands in the world. I think that's an undisputed fact. Everybody has a ZZ Top song they like, right?
Yes.
But there was a time before ZZ Top, and they've been around for so long that people might not realize that there was BZ before ZZ Top. So in the late '60s, Billy Gibbons was in a band called the Moving Sidewalks. You know the Moving Sidewalks?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they actually had a song called 99th Floor. And that was a little bit of it was a man-sized hit that they had, and really cool. And they actually went on tour with Jimi Hendrix because of that song. And so when, like, one time in particular, Jimi Hendrix was like being interviewed by, Joe Shit, the Ragman. And hey, what's it like to be the greatest guitar player in the world? And he said, I don't know. Why don't you ask Billy Gibbons?
He's sitting right here.
Yeah, he's sitting right here. So, I kind of deep dove into the Moving Sidewalks a little bit last night. Have you ever heard any of this stuff?
Oh, very, very little.
Have you heard 99th Floor? Man,
It's
it is
funny
not to my
because
knowledge.
Badass.
like 2 seconds before you
Yeah.
started talking about it, Unfuckable went The Moving Sidewalks.
Unfuckable. That's a great name, and the Moving Sidewalks is an awesome band. So a lot of people have heard of the Moving Sidewalks, but if you haven't,
I don't know that's his name. There's no vowels in it. So
okay.
I'm just sounding
By
it
a vowel,
out. It might be
Unfuckable.
something else.
but if
Correct
you
me.
haven't, if you have heard that Billy Gibbons was in a band before ZZ Top, and that you know that the band was the Moving Sidewalks, but you've never actually heard them, check out 99th Floor, and you'll be like, whoa, that is rad. And then as soon as you're done with that, watch the Chesterfield Kings. Another band that kind of has that. In fact, they even do 99th Floor. But yeah, very, very cool band. They might even still be a band. I don't know. What? Mrs. Toast
It's
is laughing.
unfucking believable.
Oh,
It's not unfuckable.
I think unfuckable is a better
I'm
name.
sorry.
But,
I
but
was
okay.
looking at Matt's mustache while I was trying to figure out what your handle was.
Unfuckable
So
is
please excuse
kind
me.
of a sad handle.
That's what
to
I thought
have,
too. I'm like,
you
I
know?
think this is what they're going
Oh,
for.
see, I thought it
know.
was like you can't. This is unfuckupable.
No, not unfuckable.
As in, you'd better unfuck
Unfucking
yourself.
believable.
Okay.
Unfuckable.
You can understand why my brain went there
Yeah.
when I was looking at Matt's
Yeah.
mustache.
Yeah, sure. So check out the Moving Sidewalks, 99th floor. Then check out the Chesterfield Kings. Now, when I said Chesterfield Kings, you went, oh, and you kind of got it.
Yeah.
Do you know some of those dudes?
No, just I know some of the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're really into that scene, but you want something newer, I want you to check out the Lords of Altamont.
I thought you were going to say
heard
Lords
that
of
name,
Acid.
too.
Where I was like,
Really super cool band. They were featured. The first time I heard of Lords of Altamont, they were in a movie called The Harbortown Bobber, and I was, I'm a little bit of a motorcycle guy, not a huge motorcycle guy, but I dig motorcycles, and I really dig motorcycles that don't have any like safety shit on them or like any bags or seats
or a spring under
or
the seat.
springs. I want it to
Yeah.
be like super uncomfortable and super crazy. And the Lords of Altamont were in a DVD that I have called The Harbortown Bobber about this it's an old Triumph being rebuilt into a bobber motorcycle, and they have a song called "Piece of Your Action." Check out Lords of Altamont, "Piece of Your Action," and you'll be like, "Whoa!" Yeah, I'm like stepping back in time. So those are Matt's picks for 3 bands you've never heard of: Moving Sidewalks, Chesterfield Kings, and Lords of Altamont.
Quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
You just said something that reminded me of a band that you turned me on to. But because I'm ugly, what is it? Butt trumpet.
Butt trumpet.
Butt trumpet.
Yeah.
Greatest name for anything.
Butt trumpet. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they had the song "You're Ugly." Yeah. Those are my pumpkin seeds, bitch. So, Chris, do you have any bands that we've never heard of?
Sure.
Okay.
So
lay it on me.
Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a big surf music fan. And
I know
one of my favorite surf bands is a band called the Original Safaris.
Wait, the Surfaris or the original? Okay.
The Original Safaris.
Because I've heard of the Surfaris.
The Surfaris are the band that did Wipeout and
Okay.
Surfer Joe. But there was another Surfaris before that band in California.
Oh, wow.
And they released a bunch of songs as the Surfaris. And the other band came along and released Wipeout.
Dude, that's like a Spinal Tap thing.
I absolutely guarantee that those guys know this story. And that was one of the reasons that they did that whole thing.
The new originals, yeah.
Yeah, the new originals, yes. And the so now they start calling each other by their region. But let's say the original Safaris, the non-Wipeout Safaris. There we go. The non-Wipeout Safaris sued the Wipeout Safaris for the name because they'd been around longer.
Is it Safaris or Surfaris?
Surfaris.
Okay.
Because there's another band called the Safaris, which had a song called "Image of a Girl," which is sort of a lame dick kind of
Were they a surf band kind of
wishy-washy.
too?
No,
Okay.
not. It's yeah. It's more Letterman style stuff. Anyway, but that's probably where the name came from. Is the Safaris versus Surfaris in California. So they sued the Wipeout Surfaris and lost because the Wipeout Surfaris had a hit. So they couldn't really change the name.
Yeah.
So instead of coming up with a new name, they just started calling themselves the Original Surfaris.
Okay.
Which is just ridiculous because they kept getting mixed up after that.
How could you not?
Yeah. But anyway,
I mixed them up while you were telling me. Like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah. For my money, the better surf band is the Original Surfaris.
What
Far
and so
superior
did they have
music.
What song? So that's the not Wipeout Safaris.
Correct. So they had a song called Bombora, which is a monster. They had a song called Surfari.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a bunch of stuff, and they made a lot of singles because that's what bands did back
in the day.
Yeah, but they have a couple of compilation albums. They were on some 60s compilation albums. They are, fast and tough.
Well, I want
For
you
1962, they are.
We need to
fucking
bring in
tough.
bands you've never heard of CDs to listen to.
Yeah, we should do that.
That would be fun.
Yeah. And my other one,
You only have one more?
I only have. Well, I could talk about other bands.
Yeah,
well,
do.
let's see if this goes
Okay.
someplace. The other one is another surf band called the Fender 4, and they, if the argument that surf music formed heavy metal, the Fender 4,
if it could be made,
yes,
yeah.
that's the band that did it.
I love the story of the Fender 4.
Yeah, and Randy Holden, I mean, and they were a blip on the screen. They had 4 or 5 singles that were just monster,
They-
heavy shit.
Once
for-
you told me about
for
them, I'm like,
63
I
or
gotta check it
64.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and really awesome. And Randy Holden, the guitar player, went on to form all sorts of cool shit. He was in Blue Cheer. He was in Sons of Adam. Sons of Adam's really a band that.
Okay.
If you wanna, talk about a
He wasn't
cool-
in Blue Cheer like the Summertime Blues
no,
era, but
no,
yeah.
but
72, I think, yeah.
And Sons of Adam was really the band that the Fender 4 turned into.
Oh,
and
okay.
heavy shit.
You have
for
a
the
fun
time.
story about that guy and a what was it, a Surf 101 convention?
Yeah, it was a Surf 101 convention.
Can you tell everyone that story? Because I was blown away
Yeah.
when you told me.
So Randy Holden doesn't play a whole lot anymore, and the surf community, a couple of guys wanted to see if they could get him to play the Surf Guitar 101 convention, and they called him up and they presented this idea, and Randy said, I haven't played surf music in a long time, but that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, that's great. We'll come over to your house. We'll talk about it, and we'll get it lined up. And they did that, and they practiced a little bit, and it got really close to the day of the event. And Randy said, well, I don't really have an amp. Can you guys provide me with an amp? And so they said, sure, we'll bring over a couple. And they brought over a couple of 61 brown face dual Showman amps.
With what, like 215
Yeah,
cabs?
215 cabinets. And they set them up into Randy's, and Randy, did his Fender 4 thing, and he played it, and they said, great, which one? He said, yeah, I'll use them both.
Yeah, I'll use them both. So that was 2 dual Showmans, basically all the way up.
100-watt, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
God, that's
big-
like,
big
that's
amps.
mighty.
Yeah, and
That's man style right
yeah,
there.
and he showed up, and he played, and it was...
You saw it.
It was religious. It really was. Because you hear these songs, and you think, wow, that's
There's
neat.
one that really stands out, that Fender 4 one.
Margaya.
Margaya.
Yeah.
God, that's a great
Yeah, it's
song.
just heavy. Yeah, just
And that was-
chugging
when was that
along.
recorded?
64, I think.
So pretty
right at
early.
the end of the surf stuff. But yeah,
But yeah.
for heavy sounds
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and he's down tuned, and it's a big heavy song. And they started churning that thing out, and it's fairly fast normally.
Yeah.
It slowed down a little bit because Randy's in his 70s now.
Oh, wow.
But it was huge sounding, man. It was just like I was just standing there going,
Ah!
yeah, I can't believe I'm watching this.
Mrs. Toast wrote some stuff on the whiteboard, but I can't see it.
Oh, well, because it's not for you.
Oh, it's not for me. Okay.
But there's a disturbing comment.
Oh, is there a disturbance in the force?
Yes, Homer's reluctant. Oh wait, no. Oh,
That
he's
guy,
like,
we have that guy's picture of his
Yeah,
dog.
and
a
he
picture of
said
his
a bunch
dog.
of your surf stuff came up on YouTube, and it's good. No, so this dude says Roberto Hernandez Jr.
Okay.
I've never heard of Ted Nugent for some reason until about 5 or 6 years ago.
Maybe Roberto's not an old
could
fart.
be-
Maybe
he could
he's
be
a young
young.
man.
Well, even still, I want to call, like, say he's a young man.
Sure.
I want to call his parents for child neglect.
Yeah.
Do you know who Pee Wee Herman is?
Come on now. We can't.
Come
We can't.
on.
Come on. Roberto's.
like, really,
he's.
I'm
Okay,
upset for
but
him.
now he
He
knows
missed
about.
out.
But now he knows
Yes.
about Ted
Yeah,
Nugent, and so he
yeah.
wants to
It
rock.
was jarring. I'm sorry.
It took you by surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think without somebody like Randy Holden, Ted Nugent would never be a guy.
I would 100%
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just heavy, huge amps, not a lot of other
Yeah.
shit going on. Just it needs more distortion.
Just crank
Turn it
the
up.
amp
Yeah,
louder.
keep turning
and
it up.
and Ted Nugent played that Birdland through a buttload of Fenders.
Yeah, a shit ton of twins and
yeah.
dual 15 cabinets. Yeah, just plug everything in.
But there's something about like maybe what's in the water in Detroit that like so many awesome bands come out of
Yeah, yeah.
Michigan, and like the whole like the Motown sound, of course. But like, I didn't really get into that. But like MC5 and Ted Nugent and those guys, I'm like, oh man, there's so many good things.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
you
I
go.
have my 3 bands.
Well, we
that-
would love to
good.
hear them.
That's what I wrote on the board because I kept changing my mind about the third one.
So these are Mrs.
And I was like, I just
Toast,
gotta stop.
3 bands.
Because then, like, people were saying stuff, and I'm reading
Okay.
stuff, and I had that song stuck in my head now.
You know what
Because,
what
like,
people
Orgasm
really
Addict.
want though is they really want to know what your top 3 favorite bands that you've never heard of are.
Okay.
I wanna
First
know,
of
too.
all, is one of the newest ones is one that you introduced me to.
Okay.
Is Honky.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, that shit is tits and ice cream. It's so good.
We
Check it
need
out.
to get the guys in Honky to play Texas Toast guitars.
Yeah, absolutely. Aren't they from Texas? Mm-hmm. So it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Also, Bedlam Hour.
I don't know.
This
but-
little punk band from the 80s out of South Carolina.
Okay.
They're good shit.
Do you remember when you and I went back to your cousin's wedding and we met
My
that guy?
niece's wedding?
Your niece's wedding, and we went to that little burger shop, and there was the guy there who was
Oh, where you drank cheer wine.
drank cheer wine with this guy, and he was telling us about his band, and it was like the Glue Huffers or something. Or, do you remember that? And I looked him up, and they were really fun.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was
but it
next to
wasn't
the
the-
poster store that I never paid for that
Yeah,
Liberace
yeah. It
poster.
wasn't the Glue Huffers though, but it was like the something silly like the paint sniffers or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was fun at that
Yeah.
little. It was a little diner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't that by the? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
It
sorry
was
to
by
interrupt you one
the.
more
It was.
time.
It was in Greensboro.
But was it by the Woolworths that like there was like
That was the first. The
historical-
first.
Yeah.
It was the North Carolina A&T.
Everything has a story, you guys. And
That was the
music-
counter. That was the infamous counter.
Yeah.
With the sit-in started that began the civil rights
How
movement.
cool is that?
And here's what sucks. Of course, Woolworths went out of business long
Mm.
ago, and it's had empty forever. And then they got the money together for the National Historic Society to turn it into a museum.
Yeah.
But instead of preserving the counter, they gutted the whole thing.
What?
Why would you rip the fucking counter out?
The counter is
That's
quite
good. Like,
possibly the
don't-
most important,
don't touch it.
significant
Worth
thing.
leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Social distance your ass from that fucking counter, right?
How weird.
Yeah,
That's
so weird.
that's
I
a
was
bummer.
so disappointed.
I'm sure that
Anyway,
that made sense to somebody, but okay. So and 3.
New Bomb Turks.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally.
I think they're very underrated. They're really
I
good.
would. I like New Bomb Turks a lot, but I think I would put Mission of Burma in front of New Bomb Turks, because that's when I reach for my revolver. But that is a show for another time.
You know, I've been deep diving into this little band called the Beatles. You
Sure,
ever heard of them?
I have not heard of them.
Yeah.
I wish I never heard of them.
B-E-E-T-L-E-L.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. The Beatless.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun, you guys. It's already an hour's already passed. It's
Yeah,
already
yeah.
gone. Boom. Did we miss anyone's comment?
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Well,
There's lots of chatter between. I think they have as much fun as we do.
I
talking
hope so.
amongst
That's why we got to get,
themselves.
because I have two
Yeah.
YouTube accounts. One's my real name and one's Mrs. Toast.
Okay.
Right? So I need to get my real name off of the, what do you
Sure,
call it?
sure,
The
sure.
moderator
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
can like hide things and not hide them from everybody.
Well, guys, I hope that you had a good time spending an hour with us on Sunday night. Did you do any time traveling last night, Chris?
Yes, I went to bed early without changing my clock. Just totally forgot about it and got up at like 4 in the morning to take a leak, and suddenly it dawned on me, and I'm like, oh, it's 3. Oh, I went to bed at 8:30 last night.
Are there still
essentially.
some places that like don't like? I think like Arizona, Hawaii,
Yeah.
a few other states don't do the
I
daylight
think there's
savings.
2 states.
Arizona and Hawaii?
Absolutely, Arizona is
Yeah.
one, and there's another one.
Kind of makes me want to move to Arizona, but anyway,
Yeah, but then you're fucked up from everybody else all the time.
I don't care though.
I can't
yeah.
imagine what it's like. Yeah, it's got to throw everything off in the other direction sometime.
I'm not sure.
You know, like you call people and like, what are you calling me for?
Hey,
It's
what- yeah.
6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday it was.
There was like some
Yeah.
Native Indian chief that said only a white man would think you can cut a foot, like an inch off a blanket and sew it on the other
Yeah.
end and think you have a longer
Yeah,
blanket.
longer, yeah.
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 Well, so anyway, yeah, time traveling is good. I like the fall portion of time travel much better than the spring portion of time travel.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Arizona and Indiana.
Oh, Indiana.
Indiana.
Okay.
I knew it was far away
Didn't
from
realize
there.
Indiana was so.
So
rebellious.
rebellious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like. I don't want to move to Indiana, but I would maybe consider Arizona one day. So, Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, it's fun to hang out with everybody and just kind of shoot the breeze and bullshit back and forth. And Mrs. Toast is, of course, the hot setup. She's got like all these people, and she's like sort of holds court over everybody. I don't know if that's what you do.
I really just kind of like trail off.
Do you just
every
let
once
it
in a
go?
while.
You just like, yeah. You're
Well,
like
again, when I get the other account that's not a moderator,
okay.
then I'll be
All
able
right.
to keep up with things.
All
better.
right.
We might have the coolest like viewers.
There's no
around.
question we have the coolest
because
viewers,
I mean
yeah.
we don't have any real issues. It's everybody's.
It's like a
here
really
for a
awesome
good
neighborhood
time.
pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
Sunday live streams, and I love all of you guys.
Sunday services.
So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Is there anything that we need to? Oh, we need to thank Ike and Dylan and Nico at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, for helping us do the Sunday live streams. Is there anything else we got? Oh, there will not be a Q&A this Thursday.
Nope.
Because there is a fretwork, deep diving into frets
Yep. And if you have-
live stream.
And if you have any desire to learn about that stuff, this is I think going to be a really good way to learn about it.
Yeah. So, and you can still sign up.
Yep.
Maybe I should do a mailer for that this week,
Sure.
just to like let everyone know.
We like to send out a mailer.
We do like to send out mailers. Well, I mean, it's all automatically built into the website. So thanks for watching, everybody. Let's see. What else have we got going on? God, there's a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah. We should have a good reveal this Friday.
We should have a super. Well, we already have one reveal for the tough dog, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It might be another thing to reveal too.
Sure.
Really?
Maybe. You
Oh,
never
wow.
know.
Okay. So, anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. Have a great week. I don't know what's going on, like if you're going to get locked down or not. I have a sneaking suspicion we might, but I don't want to you know what? Let's
Vote early, vote often.
try to keep it positive, Yeah, let's keep everything positive. So, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next Sunday, if not before. This is Matt at Texas Toast, reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. Oh, and if you're Josh and you're in Oklahoma, you've got a super cool guitar coming your way tomorrow morning. First thing, he bought the What Would Leo Fender Do guitar, and it is badass. That guitar turned out great. So, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next Sunday. It's Matt, Texas Toast. I don't have any other catchphrases.
Well, that's it then.